Broncos country, buckle up. Got some good news for you. Today, we're diving deep into the journey of a guy who's turning heads among Denver Broncos fans. Clay Webb, the undrafted free agent, UDFA, who's being talked about as one of the top breakout candidates for our offensive line in 2025. This is the kind of content that'll keep every orange and blue fan glued to the screen, so grab a cold beer, throw on your Broncos cap, and let's find out why PFF, Pro Football Focus, is tagging this dude as a UDFA to watch. But first, let me ask you something. Do you believe in underdog stories? That moment when a player comes out of nowhere, no draft hype, and carves out a place in the NFL? That's exactly who Clay Webb is, Broncos country. And today, in 2,000 words packed with heart and info, we're telling you everything. Who he is, where he's from, why he might be a key piece for our offense, and how he's already connecting with us, the Orange Nation. So let's hit the field. Broncos country. If you haven't heard of Clay Webb yet, write his name down. This guy might just be the future of our offensive line. Webb's an O-lineman out of Jacksonville State, a school that, let's be honest, isn't exactly a factory for NFL talent. And that's what makes this even more exciting. He's a raw gem, the kind of player the Broncos love to polish up. He signed with us right after the 2025 draft as a UDFA, and the hype train is already rolling. Webb stands at 6'3", 312 pounds, a straight-up beast. He played left guard in college, but also showed the versatility to play center and even right guard. And get this, he was projected as a 5th or 6th round pick by analysts like Brandon Thorne, Bleacher Report, and Lance Zierlein, NFL.com. So why'd he go undrafted? Sounds like a mix of things. Position changes and a legal issue that was cleared up pre-draft. But hey, Broncos country, the good news is we snagged this talent for free. Here's another twist. Webb started out as a 5-star recruit at the University of Georgia, one of the elite programs in college football. That says a lot about his pedigree. Later, he transferred to Jacksonville State, where he stood out in a run-heavy offense, the kind that opens up big holes for the ground game. That fits Sean Payton's style perfectly. Our head coach loves a physical, downhill rushing attack. Now that you know who he is, let's talk about why PFF is so high on him. According to Brent Sobleski from Bleacher Report, Webb has a real shot at making the 53-man roster, especially with our O-line needing depth and maybe even a future starter. Let's start with his technique. Webb is described as a physical player who's not afraid to get his hands in the defender's face. At the Senior Bowl, he played center and held his own against top-tier competition, way tougher than what he saw at Jacksonville State. That's huge, folks. The Senior Bowl is like the NFL entrance exam where scouts analyze every move. Webb proved he's not intimidated, showing strong hands and an explosive punch that throws D-linemen off their rhythm. He's also got brute strength. Sure, he's a tad shorter than ideal for a guard, something a few analysts knock him for, but he makes up for it with a solid base and nasty hand play. In pass pro, he's the kind of guy who stops a bull rush cold, anchoring like a brick wall. And in the run game, this dude opens lanes like a snowplow, just what we need in a run-first attack. But Broncos country, it ain't all sunshine and roses. PFF and other analysts point out that Webb needs to improve his mobility and body control, especially when reacting to quick movements. He has a tendency to rise too high in his stance late in plays, which can be a problem against faster defenders. Still, the potential is there, and with coaching from Zach Strief, our O-line coach, there's good reason to believe he can level up fast. Let's zoom out for a sec and look at the bigger picture with our offensive line. In 2024, we had a pretty solid unit with guys like Garrett Bolles and Quinn Miners holding it down, but on the interior, especially at center, we were shaky. Luke Wattenberg, who started 13 games, had a so-so year. PFF gave him a 63.3 overall, ranking him 29th out of 64 centers. His run blocking was even worse at 56.9. That's a red flag, especially since our offense depends on a strong ground game to set up Bo Nix in the play action. Also, Alex Forsyth, another backup center, hasn't really locked down the job either. Though he played in 17 games and started 4, he earned a 65.2 PFF grade, which is slightly better than Wattenberg's, but still far from ideal. With those numbers, it's clear the Broncos need fresh blood on the interior line, and that's where Clay Webb comes into the picture. According to Sobleski, the plan is to transition Webb from guard to center, a spot where he already flashed. Some potential at the Senior Bowl. That kind of versatility is gold in the NFL. Guys who can play multiple positions have a much better shot at sticking on a roster. And Broncos country, y'all know how much Sean Payton values versatile players, right? So if Webb can make that move to center, he could be the guy we see snapping the ball to Bo Nix for years to come. Broncos country. Now here's the part that's really going to make you root for this guy. Clay Webb's story is straight out of a movie. Like I mentioned, he started out as a 5-star recruit at Georgia but never quite found his place there. He ended up transferring to Jacksonville State. That alone could shake a lot of people's confidence, but not Webb. He kept grinding and became a key piece of a run-heavy offense, and there's more. Before the draft, Webb had to deal with some off-field issues. In 2020, he was involved in a legal case. But here's the good news. Broncos country. The case was fully resolved in April 2025. All charges were dismissed by a judge in Alabama. His agent even sent a letter to all 32 NFL teams to clear the air, which shows just how committed Webb was to setting the record straight and focusing on football. That kind of resilience, that's exactly what we love in our Broncos. Now just imagine a guy who's already overcome so much coming into the NFL as an undrafted free agent, no draft day hype, just a massive hunger to prove he belongs. That's the Denver Broncos spirit, folks. That's the same fire we saw in legends like Chris Harris Jr. and Philip Lindsay, two UDFAs who became icons. Could Webb be the next one? I'm betting yes. What about you, Broncos country? Let me know in the comments. So let's talk real. Quick about how Clay Webb can make an impact in 2025. First off, he's stepping into a good situation. Our offense, led by Bo Nix, is on the rise. With guys like running back R.J. Harvey coming in, another name to watch, we're going to need an O-line that can open lanes on the ground. Webb, with his experience in a run-first system, could help turn our run game into a serious weapon. Plus, we need more depth on the O-line. With guys like Xavier Truss, Joe Mikowski, and Marquez Cox also joining as UDFAs, the competition at training camp is going to be intense. But Webb has a slight edge. He's already been recognized by analysts like PFF and NFL.com's Chad Reuter as one of the top UDFAs of 2025. And let's not forget, Denver has a rich tradition with UDFAs. In the last 21 years, we've had an undrafted player on the roster every single season except one. That's unreal, Broncos country. So when we look at Webb, he's not just some random name. He's part of a legacy, guys who came from nowhere and made it big with us. In the short term, Webb's likely fighting for a practice squad spot or a backup role, but if he shows out at camp, don't be surprised if he earns real snaps in the regular season. And who knows, by 2026 or 2027, we might be talking about him as our starting center. The sky's the limit. Broncos country, what makes a player a fan favorite in Denver? It's not just talent, it's heart, it's passion, it's connecting. With us, the loudest fans in the NFL, and Clay Webb is already showing he gets that. He came in humble, but confident. Said he's ready to work and learn from the vets. That's the kind of attitude we respect because here in Denver, we honor guys who bleed orange and blue. And hey, don't forget, we're building something special with Sean Payton and Bo. Nix 2024 was just the beginning. We broke that 8-year playoff drought. Now in 2025, the goal is to level up, and guys like Webb are part of that mission. So show him some love, smash that like button, share this video with the squad, and drop a comment. Do you think Clay Webb makes the roster? Maybe even becomes a starter? Broncos country, what a ride, huh? We dove into Clay Webb's journey. A guy from Jacksonville State who's battled through ups and downs and now has a shot to make his mark in Denver. He's tough, versatile, has the right mindset, and he's already caught the eye of PFF as a UDFA to watch. If that's not a reason to get hyped, I don't know what is. So before I go, let me ask you 3 things. First, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We've got way more Broncos content coming your way. Second, share this video with your fellow Broncos fans, because together, we make orange and blue shine brighter. And third, leave a comment. What's your prediction for Webb in 2025? Practice squad, backup, or is he already making noise? Thanks, Broncos country. Let's keep rooting, shouting, and living for this team we love. Until next time, go Broncos.